Hello. Before I get started with the Long Island Railroad update about the work being done once again this weekend, I want to talk about something that was sent to me actually, very recently, and this is what is going on here. So, what you're looking at here is Jamaica, and what you're seeing are a bunch of nice buses here. And apparently, what is going on with the latest bustitution that was happening overnight between Valley Stream and Jamaica? Nice Bus was actually doing the bustitution. At least it wasn't Cheese buses. I'll say that it's a step above Cheese, but this just goes to show the MTA, it does not give it. They do not want to send their buses out to help us. Whenever there's an issue, whether it's on the Long Island Railroad, whether it's on Metro North, the MTA does not want to send out their buses anymore, and I have a big problem with that. All right, because the MTA runs the Long Island Railroad. They run Metro North. And again, I'm going to put this comment on the screen that was posted during the disruptions Tuesday night at Metro North. Shouldn't providing alternative transportation be your job, MTA? Well, not Cuomo's MTA. This is the problem. He doesn't want these buses going out of the city anymore. And these are over-the-road coaches, and it's a shame because these are literally driving only within the 5 boroughs. All right? And I have a big problem with that. These are state vehicles, and they should be allowed to serve residents of the state when there's prostitution being provided. And whenever there's a construction job, like there will be again this weekend on the Long Island Railroad on the Ronkonkoma branch, they will probably be sending out school buses, and they won't be sending out these buses. All right? They only care about the city. All right? The city gets these buses, but they can't come out to Long Island to help us out. They can't go to Westchester to help us out. No. You have to use Nice Bus or you have to use school buses. I mean, literally, they'll use Nice Bus. This is between Valley Stream and Jamaica. My God, right on the city line, and the city can't provide buses? They gotta ask Nice Bus to do it? This is what's going on under Governor Andrew Cuomo. All right, it really does have to end. It really does have to end. And if for some reason recently it's gotten a lot worse. And there's been no explanation, no answer from the MTA. I will ask them again on Monday because there's going to be a committee meeting. Why aren't you sending MTA buses out here? Why do you have to use school buses? Why do you have to use private carriers and even Nice Bus? But you can't get these buses, these over-the-road coaches, which somehow are meant to travel on trips that could be up to 100 miles, and they're just traveling within the 5 boroughs. To me, it's a waste of a bus. All right, they should be going out to Long Island to do this kind of thing. This is why the MTA bought them many years ago. It wasn't just to serve the people in New York City. It was to serve the people in the entire downstate region. This didn't just start immediately when Cuomo went into office. This is a Google Street View of the Ronkonkoma Railroad Station taken in September 2017. And you can see there was a bustitution going on, and they're using MTA coach buses. All right? So what happened? Why aren't they using MTA coach buses anymore? We haven't heard an explanation from the MTA. We haven't heard an explanation from Joe Lhota, who I still think, I know it's not his fault, but I still think Joe Lhota needs to step aside. He is not part of the solution because he's not standing up to Governor Cuomo. All right? And saying, you know what, it's in Joe Lhota's power to say, we're going to send MTA buses out here. We're not doing that. So again, this was taken, you can see there are a few more in there. This was taken back in September of 2017. So you can see there are MTA buses here at this time. But why this year, why has the MTA refused to send out buses outside of the city? What the hell is going on? What kind of conspiracy? Who's been paid off? Because somebody's obviously been paid off. Some of these private companies probably have been paying off the governor. This is a major corruption story that the news should be talking about, and they're not talking about it. But I am, because let's face it, this is coming back to the Ronkonkoma branch this weekend. Now, fortunately, it will not be the entire branch. It will just be the section between Brentwood and Ronkonkoma, but still a lot of people use Ronkonkoma. This is the cheesy hell that they will have to experience again. And school buses are not meant for highway travel, and they're certainly not meant to carry adults. Before I get to this, what the railroad is doing this week, and I want to talk about something else that happened today in New Jersey, and exactly my point about school buses not being safe on highways. Now, this you see is a very gruesome crash that happened in New Jersey today on Interstate 80. A school bus was on a field trip on a highway, and from what I understand, it was making an illegal U-turn. At least this is what I've heard on the news, and got hit by a dump truck. And this is why school buses are dangerous on highways. What you see here is the chassis, because unlike transit buses, school buses are not unibody buses. All right, it's literally just a truck. It's a truck, is what it is. It's a truck body, and they put a little passenger area in here. But these are not. What happened was literally that this is very gruesome. Literally, the body literally got ripped right off the chassis. And this has happened before on school bus accidents. This could have been happening on a Long Island Railroad shuttle. School buses are not meant to be on highways. They should never be used to carry adults. And this could happen on Long Island. All right, this could happen on Long Island. It's a very tragic. Some people died in this crash. There were a lot of injuries. It's very gruesome. But you could see literally what happened to the school bus here. Now, if this was a transit bus, this would not have happened. If this was a coach bus, this would have not happened. But school buses are not meant to be traveling at high speeds on highways. I want to make this clear, all right, that putting school buses on Long Island Railroad bus stations is putting people's lives in danger. And if, God forbid, this happens on Long Island, I will definitely call for an indictment of Governor Cuomo, because whoever is responsible for putting these damn school buses, I don't care who got paid off, all right? I don't care, all right? This should never happen, all right? And by using school buses on the Long Island Railroad, you are putting, these aren't meant to carry adults. And all the people who died in this were adults, all right? They're adults, because school buses are not meant to carry adults. All right? So I have a big problem with this, a huge problem with this. All right? And this could happen on Long Island. All right? And this is why we've got to demand that the MTA use their own buses when it comes to bus substitution. And I will be demanding that on Monday. Now, let's get to the Long Island Railroad track work. So here we go. We'll read this to you. The Long Island Railroad will perform important infrastructure work at several locations across the system this weekend, including on the double track project on the Ronkonkoma branch, pre-cutover testing on the new signal system at Harold Interlocking, as well as positive train control testing and tie replacement on a section of the Port Washington branch. The new signal system at Harold Interlocking will ensure smooth and improved train service through the area, as it is a crucial piece of infrastructure containing numerous switches that route trains across the tracks that lead to Penn Station. The new, more reliable system has built-in redundancies based on microprocessor technology, replacing an older hardwire relayed-based signal system. Testing on the new signal system, a part of the East Side Access Project, will begin on Friday, May 18th at 10:18 p.m. when train movement through Harold Interlocking will be restricted until 5 a.m. on Monday, May 21st. For this effort, service on the Port Jefferson branch will be reduced during this time, while other branches may experience adjusted schedules and alternate connections. Further east, round-the-clock work on the double track project continues on the Ronkonkoma branch. Starting at 12:37 a.m. on Saturday, May 19th, buses will substitute for train service between Brentwood and Ronkonkoma until 12:15 a.m. on Monday, May 21st. So the good news is, if you're from Brentwood on west, you'll still have regular train service. You won't have to be riding on air-conditioned school bus. And it's going to be warm this weekend too, and I'm sure the freaking school buses will be back over there. Anyway, getting back to this. The highly anticipated double track project, a crucial component to expanding Long Island Railroad service in Suffolk County while bolstering the region's economy, will improve service and reliability on the Long Island Railroad's Ronkonkoma branch, as well as service to the Long Island MacArthur Airport. Over the past 25 years, ridership on the Ronkonkoma branch has doubled, growing in popularity since the line was electrified in 1988, indicating the need for expansion. The project, expected to be completed this summer, will also aid in reducing delays in the event of a service disruption, as the 18-mile stretch between Ronkonkoma and Farmingdale currently only has one track available to both directions of train traffic. When an issue arises with a train, this stalls other east and westbound trains because there is currently no way to circumnavigate the stalled train. From 12:25 a.m. Saturday through 12 a.m. Monday, service on the Port Washington branch will be reduced while the Long Island Railroad crews perform positive train control testing. Also on the Port Washington branch this Saturday, Long Island Railroad crews will be replacing ties, necessitating bus service to substitute for trains between Great Neck and Port Washington from 12:54 a.m. to 2:55 p.m. on Saturday, May 19th. I wonder who'll be doing the bus work on that. This work will harden the area's rail infrastructure to ensure safe and reliable train service. To accommodate fans to Mets games at Citi Field, supplemental train service will be provided to and from Mets Willets Point Saturday and Sunday. So they'll keep the service available for that. Luckily, they are doing that. Some trains may run on adjusted schedules and have alternate connections. Please refer to the following timetables. Anyway, let's go to this. You know, it's more of the same. Guess who gets to keep all this service? You know who gets to keep all this service. Look at them. Yeah, the snobs on the Babylon branch. But anyway, let's get started here. So you know the deal. You know the drill already. And I don't know if this is going to be the last time this is going to happen or not. Because it's really just getting really just pathetic and annoying and irritating. And, you know, I'm just fed up with it. I really am. It has to do with Harold. The Babylon branch should have its service reduced. You know, I talked about how that could be done. But they don't want to, you know, sorry, we don't want to go against the snobs. And we're going to have a video about this coming up. I was going to do it today, but I'm going to try to get it done tomorrow about the demographics. We're going to take a really in-depth look at the demographics, how people spend their money and stuff. I got some interesting data to share with you. Hopefully I'll put that together either tomorrow or over the weekend. But anyway, let's get back to this. You know the deal. Huntington service is reduced from half-hourly to hourly, with some trains during this time making local stops from New Hyde Park to Huntington. Other trains will have adjusted schedules. Port Jefferson service is reduced from 90-minute intervals to every 2-hour intervals with alternate connections west of Huntington. On the Port Washington branch, busing will be in place Saturday, May 19th only from 12:54 a.m. to 2:55 p.m. Eastbound, passengers traveling to Manhasset, Plandome, and Port Washington will detrain at Great Neck and board buses or vans, to their final destination. Passengers should expect up to 25 minutes additional travel time, depending on destination. Westbound, customers boarding at Port Washington, Plandome, and Manhasset will board buses or vans up to 25 minutes earlier than normal for Great Neck, where service will resume. Again, they're kind of this work has to be done for that area. Just again, there better not be school buses over there. There probably will be though. Anyway, on the Ronkonkoma, maybe they'll use nice. On the Ronkonkoma branch, eastbound customers will detrain at Brentwood and board buses for a station Central Islip through Ronkonkoma. Passengers should expect up to 35 minutes additional travel time. Westbound, customers traveling from Ronkonkoma and Central Islip will board buses up to 34 minutes earlier than normal for Brentwood, where normal train service will continue. And here's our favorite line. Customers are encouraged to avoid busing and to use the pretty little Babylon branch. Yep, stay away from the middle of the island. Just, let the towns around here continue to die while the South Shore gets all the tourism and all the revenue, of course. Only to be wiped out when the next hurricane comes in. Sure, it makes a ton of sense, doesn't it? Anyway, Greenport, eastbound customers will board trains for Brentwood and detrain there for buses to Ronkonkoma, where train service will resume to Greenport. Passengers should expect up to 40 minutes additional travel time. And westbound customers will depart up to 21 minutes later than normal and detrain at Ronkonkoma for buses to Brentwood, where train service will resume to all points west. Passengers will arrive at western terminals 1 hour later than normal. All right, so this is what goes on. They talk about the community, of course. Will they keep you posted? I don't know. Yeah, sometimes the communication could be better. But once again, a reminder: Monday, Monday, May 21st at 9:30 a.m. is the Long Island Railroad Committee meeting at the MTA headquarters in downtown New York City. and I'm going to do my best to try to go there and make a speech. And if you can and you have the time, I ask you to please do the same, because I can't do it alone. All right. If the railroad goes and sees a bunch of people speaking up about these problems, they will be more likely maybe to take us into consideration. But if it's only me, I can't do it alone. I need your help. You need to come down there if you can, and please let the Long Island Railroad know that this discrimination against the main line will not be tolerated, nor will the use of school buses be tolerated as well. When the MTA has a large fleet of buses, they could even send transit buses out. But the MTA should be responsible for providing that alternate transportation, not just in emergencies, but also for planned work. That's the MTA's job, and they need to stick to the job that they're supposed to do, and that's the bottom line. And that's it for this update.